Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Duncan, the King of Scotland, was an ideal ruler, fair and kind. However, some chieftains in the country rebelled against his rule. To put down the rebellion, the king sent two of his most skillful and trusted commanders, Macbeth and Banquo. They took charge of the king's army and marched against the rebels, defeating them. Macbeth and Banquo were returning from their victory through one of the wildest and loneliest regions in the country when they were intercepted by three strange-looking old women who they were sure were witches.
"Hail, Thane of Glamis!"
Macbeth was surprised that the witches knew who he was.
"Hail, Thane of Cawdor!"
Macbeth was startled. He was the Thane of Glamis, but not the Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth wondered what this meant.
"All hail, Macbeth! You'll be king one day!"
How could Macbeth ever be king? It seemed quite impossible, but Macbeth was ambitious. Moreover, back then, people believed in the power that witches had to foresee the future. Naturally, Macbeth began to wonder if the prophecy could ever come true. The witches then turned to Banquo and told him that his descendants would rule over the country as kings. As Macbeth and Banquo continued their journey, some messengers came from King Duncan. They told Macbeth that the king, pleased with his victory, had made Macbeth the Thane of Cawdor. The first prophecy had just been fulfilled. Macbeth now began to believe the witches. Macbeth spoke to Banquo about the prophecy of his descendants becoming the kings of Scotland, but Banquo was a simple and upright person.
"If I hope that my descendants will be the rulers of Scotland one day, you too will hope that you will be the King of Scotland now. I do not like this at all, Macbeth. The witches have laid a trap for you. Do not fall into it."
Macbeth, through a letter, had informed his wife about the foretelling. Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, was waiting eagerly for him to return. Being a very ambitious woman, Lady Macbeth was delighted with the news. Lady Macbeth reading the letter.
My beloved wife, I believe these weird sisters really must have special powers. They told me I'd be the Thane of Cawdor, and it came true. They even said I would be king. King! Keep this secret, my partner in greatness. I will be with you soon.
She puts the letter down.
Macbeth, you want greatness, but are you ruthless enough to get it? You're ambitious, but you are also too full of the milk of human kindness. Come home soon, so that I can inspire you to take the crown. Without me, you will never do it.
Macbeth arrives. Lady Macbeth greets him.
Great Thane of Glamis and Cawdor, your future starts now.
King Duncan comes here tonight.
When does he leave?
Tomorrow.
That must not happen. He must not live to see the morning sun.
What are you saying?
You must welcome King Duncan when he arrives. Smile with him, look after him. But our guest must be taken care of tonight.
Taken care of?
Yes, to make you king. Oh, Macbeth, your face is so easy to read. But at the banquet tonight, you must hide your feelings. Be friendly to our king, and leave the plan to me.
King Duncan arrived at Macbeth's castle, accompanied by his two sons. The purpose of the visit was to honor Macbeth for his victory. Lady Macbeth, an accomplished hostess, graciously received her royal guest, effectively masking her dark secret thoughts. After much music and merriment, everyone went to bed. Macbeth was not ready to commit the act. He reminded Lady Macbeth that Duncan was his relative and his guest. Could one harm an old man sleeping peacefully in his bed, and a king at that? But to Lady Macbeth, nothing mattered except the crown. She convinced Macbeth to do the ghastly deed. Once in Duncan's room, Macbeth knew there was no turning back. On the other hand, Lady Macbeth was waiting anxiously in her chamber.
To herself, what is he doing? I left the daggers for him. He couldn't have missed them.
Macbeth stumbles in. He's holding the daggers.
My husband, have you?
Macbeth nods.
The deed is done.
Looking down,
Look at my stained hands.
It will wash off.
Just as I entered the room, I heard a voice cry out, "Sleep no more." And then, when the deed was done, it said, "Macbeth has murdered sleep. Therefore, Macbeth shall sleep no more."
You're imagining things. Go, wash your hands. Why did you bring the daggers? Put them back in the room.
I can't go back there.
Give them to me. I shall place them near the sleeping servants. It will make them look guilty.
she takes the daggers and leaves while Macbeth stands traumatized. The next morning, the king's death was discovered. There was anger and panic among the guests in the castle. Macbeth had got rid of the guards so that no suspicion would fall on him. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth joined the mourning and pretended to be overcome with grief. But not everyone was deceived by their display. The king's two sons felt that if Macbeth had caused the death of their father, their lives were in danger too. They fled the castle as quickly as they could. Malcolm, the elder of the two, went to the court of the King of England, and Donalbain, the younger, went to Ireland. In a way, this helped Macbeth's plans of becoming the king. With no one else in sight, Macbeth was the obvious choice. The witch's prophecy had come true. Macbeth and his wife had been crowned King and Queen of Scotland. Banquo suspected Macbeth of conspiring to become the next king. Aside,
The Thane of Cawdor, and now crowned the king. It has all come true. But did the witches make it happen, or was it Macbeth himself?
but Banquo had no proof, so he could not do anything more than suspect Macbeth. Macbeth, for all his kingly comforts, could not rest easy. The same weird sisters who had predicted his rise to kingship had also predicted that Banquo's descendants would rule Scotland. He needed to eliminate that possibility. So, on the afternoon of a royal feast, Macbeth met with Banquo and asked him what his plans for the afternoon were. Banquo said that he and his son wanted to go for a ride in the forest. At dusk, when Banquo and his son were riding back, two men suddenly attacked them, and one of them stabbed Banquo on the spot. Banquo's son managed to escape. When Macbeth heard the news, he was greatly annoyed. That evening, the guests arrived and took their seats at the table in the order of their ranks. Lady Macbeth greeted everyone warmly.
How I wish my good friend Banquo was also present. I miss him very much.
Macbeth had hardly finished speaking when the ghost of Banquo entered the hall and sat in the royal chair, which was reserved for Macbeth.
My lord, come join us. We need our host.
Of course, my lady,
He pauses.
but the table's full.
Here's a place, sir.
Where? Lennox?
Here, my good lord.
Lennox gestures to the seat at the head of the table, now occupied by Banquo's ghost. The ghost turns. There's a stab wound on his chest. Macbeth staggers back.
Which one of you has done this? My lord, what's the matter? Get away from me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Gentlemen, rise. The king is not well.
Lady Macbeth rises and goes to Macbeth's side.
Please, everyone, stay. This is just an illness. The king has suffered from it since he was a boy. Don't worry, it will go away.
Whispering to Macbeth.
What's wrong with you?
Can't you see the apparition? Such a sight would make anybody scared.
Look, it's just a chair. You're seeing things.
The ghost disappears.
What? It's gone.
It was never there.
No. Right.
To all.
Please, everybody forgive me. I am not myself this evening. Let us continue the celebrations. We shall have a toast. A toast! A toast!
They return to their seats. Banquo appears again.
Oh, it's here again. Get back to your grave, you fiend.
Macbeth swats the air. Some try and comfort him as he backs away. Banquo's ghost disappears amidst the chaos. Macbeth leans against the wall, shaking and staring.
My lords, I'm sorry. The king is not well. Please leave us now. Good night.
The guests exit, confused and concerned. Macbeth decided to consult the witches once again and find out what the future had in store for him. He found the witches in a cave in a remote part of the country.
What are you up to now, you evil witches?
A deed without a name.
I want to know more of the future. Will you tell me? I need answers.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
3 unearthly spirits rose from the witch's cauldron to answer Macbeth's questions.
First question. Tell me. No need to ask the questions. We know your thoughts.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth! Beware, Macduff!
I knew it. Macduff is dangerous.
Be bold and resolute. No man who has ever been born to a woman can harm you.
This means I'm safe. No human can ever harm me.
Be lion-mettled and proud, for Macbeth can never be vanquished till the great burning woods come to Dunsinane Hill.
That will never be. Who can persuade the trees to uproot themselves and walk? This is good news indeed.
Returns to the castle. While Macbeth was consulting the witches, his enemies were gathering against him in England. Macduff had fled to England to join Malcolm's army. Macbeth was furious when he heard this. To answer Macduff's betrayal, he sent assassins to Macduff's castle. They got rid of Macduff's wife, child, and other relatives. The country was horrified at the unjustified fate dealt out to a defenseless woman and her child. Macbeth soon lost the support and loyalty of almost all the nobles in the kingdom. Meanwhile, Malcolm and Macduff were marching to Scotland to fight Macbeth. Macbeth's unpopularity was so great that many of his soldiers fled southwards to join Malcolm's army. Macbeth left the palace with a small army and took refuge in his castle at Dunsinane. Now, another misfortune befell Macbeth. Lady Macbeth had started showing signs of sleeplessness that were born out of a sense of remorse and guilt. Macbeth had to go out from time to time, and whenever he was out, Lady Macbeth was left alone with her gloomy thoughts. She had nightmares and could not sleep, and soon began to walk and talk in her sleep. Her servants were worried and they summoned a doctor.
This is where she walks, doctor.
Every night?
Without fail.
And you think she's asleep each time?
I'm sure of it. She says things. But look, here she comes.
Lady Macbeth enters in a white sleeping gown, holding a candle.
Watch her and stay out of sight.
Her eyes are open.
But they do not see.
What is she doing now?
Washing her hands. But there's no water.
Listen.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! There is so much blood on my hands.
You're hearing things we shouldn't.
Will these hands never be clean?
Heaven knows what she really means.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
This isn't an illness I can cure.
I tell you, Banquo's dead and buried. He can't come out of his grave.
So that's it? Banquo?
We've heard too much already.
Lady Macbeth exits.
There's nothing I can do for her. She needs a priest, not a doctor.
At last, unable to bear the burden of her guilt anymore, Lady Macbeth died. For Macbeth, her death was a great blow. Now he was really alone. No one loved him. No one cared for him. He began to feel that life was meaningless.
Life's but a shadow, a tale told by an idiot, signifying nothing.
Enter soldier.
My lord, I don't know how to tell you. Just say it. As I stood watch, I looked towards Burnham, and the wood was moving. Liar. It is true, sir. See, through the window there.
Macbeth goes to the window.
So Burnham comes to Dunsinane. Just like the weird sister said, there's no running away. The prophecy comes true.
When the attacking army had reached the Burnham woods, Malcolm had thought of a clever plan. He had ordered each of his soldiers to cut down a branch and hold it up in front of them to prevent Macbeth from knowing how many men there were in the army. But to Macbeth's spies watching from hilltops, it seemed as if the whole of Burnham Woods was marching towards Dunsinane. Macbeth understood that this meant his end was near.
You wasting your time, Macduff. I have a charmed life. It has been prophesied that no man born of woman could defeat me.
Is that all? Prepare to taste defeat, Macbeth. I was not born of woman in the way others are born. I was removed from my mother's womb before my time.
A fierce fight followed.
I will still fight on. Don't stop, Macduff, until one of us is defeated.
Finally, Macduff overcame Macbeth and crowned Malcolm the King of Scotland. The nobles and the commoners of the country were relieved to see the end of the reign of terror. Never would they forget Macbeth and the terrible fate that befell him.